Today we will study about the measures of dispersion. Before moving to this topic, I want to remind you about the previous topic, that was a measure of central tendency. If you remember what was measures of central tendency, what is the meaning of measure of central tendency? And the measure of central tendency gives us an idea of the concentration of observation about the central part of the distribution, or the measure of central tendency is a single value which represents all the data points, or we can say it is a single value around which all the other values in the data set, we expect that all the other values concentrate around this central value, this measure of central tendency. So now what is the role of measures of dispersion? Suppose I have two students and each student is having two subjects. So suppose I have to compare these two students, how well they perform in the exam. So suppose one student got marks in two subjects like 74 and 76, and the other student got the marks in two subjects like 50 and 100. So first student who got marks 74 and 76, and second student got the marks as 50 and 100. So if I have to compare these two students, what I will do, I will calculate the measure of central tendency. So suppose average. So the first student who got marks 74 and 76, his average is 75. And the second student who got marks 50 and 100, again his average is 75. So both the students performed well, or I can say both students performed equally on the basis of measure of central tendency average. So what I do, now I don't have any means I don't know how to compare my students, because I don't because I cannot differentiate between the two students because of the average, because both have the average equal. So the first student, his average is 75, second student, his average is also 75. So based on the measure of central tendency, arithmetic mean or average, I cannot differentiate my students. So if I know the measure of central tendency only, so based on this, I cannot compare my students. So for this purpose, we need to know the next topic, which is measures of dispersion. So what is the role of the measure of dispersion? If we cannot compare the two data based on the measure of central tendency, we go to measure this, the measure of dispersion. Now the measures of dispersion, it means this measure of dispersion, it tells us about the scatteredness of the data points around the central value. It means here I have written one more example. So this is I have three series, 1 2 3. In first series, the data points are 7 8 10 11. In the second series, the data points are 3 6 9 12 15. And in the third series, the data points are 1 5 9 13 17. So suppose if I have to compare these three series, which is better in terms of measure of central tendency, so if I calculate the average of these three series, I get 9. So the first series average is 9, for second series the average is 9, the third series the average is 9. So all these three series, they have the average 9. So again, I don't know how to compare these three series, which is better or which is worst, because the measure of central tendency tells us that all the series, all these three series are equal. So I cannot compare. So for this, we need to know, or we will go to the next topic, measures of dispersion. This measure of dispersion tells us about the scatteredness of the data points around the central value. So if you observe that in first series in the average is 9, so the all the data points like 7, 8, 10 and 11, they are very much close to the this average value 9. And if you observe the second series, the points are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we can I can say that this series, in this series, the data points are more scattered compared to the first series around the central value, because these four are near to 9, but here this 9 is equal to 9. The 6 and 12 are far from 9 compared to this series data points. Similarly 315, they are more far from the 9. And if we go for the third series, here also the average is 9, but the points are 1, 5, 13, 17. So the 17 is more far than this series, means 17 is more far from the 9 as compared to this series and this series. So because the measure of central tendency gives that 9 is the average value of first series, of second series and third series, so we cannot compare. But the measure of dispersion tells us the scatteredness of these series about the central value. So how the data points are scattered towards the central value. So here in first series they are scattered, but means the all values are not equal to 9, but they are scattered, but they are scattered less. So as compared to the second and third series. So the measure of central tendency gives us the idea about the homogeneity or the heterogeneity of the distribution. That the homogeneity means that the points are similar to 9. The heterogeneity tells us that the points are not similar to the central value. So the measure of dispersion tells us the scattered or the dispersion of the data points around the central value of the data. That central value may be mean or mode or median or geometric mean or harmonic mean, any measure of the central tendency. So the measure of dispersion is around, always say that measure of dispersion is about either mean or mode or median. So this the measure of dispersion tells us or gives us the scatteredness, or we can say the dispersion of the data points around the central value. So if the values in the data points in the data are closer to the central value or measure of central tendency, then we will say the measure of dispersion is less. And if the data points are more scattered or they are far from the central value, then we say the measure of dispersion is high. So this is the concept. So in these three series, if you observe that the first series is more homogeneous. Why? More homogeneous means the less dispersed. So it is a comparative study. So the in above example, the series first, that is more homogeneous as compared to second and third series, because I already told you the reason, because its average is 9 and the 7, 8, 10, 11 are closer to 9 as compared to these data points or these data points. Similarly, the series third is more heterogeneous, or we can say the more scattered. This is less scattered as compared to second and third series, and this we say that third series is more heterogeneous or more scattered than the series first and second, because here the values are more far than they are more far from the 9 as compared to first series and second series, because here the bounds are the least value is 1 and the highest the maximum value is 17. So from 9 it is giving the difference of 8. Similarly, 1 to 9, again difference is 8. But here in the second series, the average is 9. So this is the minimum value. So 3 to 9, the average, the difference is 6. Here the difference is 8. Similarly here, 9 to 15, the difference is 6. And here again the difference is 8. So here the difference between the data points and the central value is more. So we will say this is more scattered. So we always calculate the measure of dispersion around a central value, or around one measure of central tendency, either mean or mode or median. So now I assume that you know the concept. The measure of central tendency gives us the idea, or we will say that it is a single value which represents all the data points, or all the it is a single value around which all the data points concentrates, or we expect that all the data points are around the central value. But if we cannot compare the two data based on the measure of central tendency, then we go to measure the dispersion of the data. So the measure of dispersion, it gives the scatteredness or the dispersion of the data points around the central value. So you have the examples. Now these are the measures of dispersion: range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation, and variance. So uh, these are the measures of different measures of dispersion. So the examiner will ask you that whether you have to calculate mean deviation or standard deviation or variance of the data. So according to that, you have to select the formula. So measure of central tendency, I have already told you the different formulas. The measure of dispersion, you can search the formulas are very much similar to the measure of central tendency. Simply you search the formula and apply the formula to the given question. But here I'm not going to discuss all the formulas. Why? Because this topic is not directly in your syllabus. The measure of central tendency is written in the syllabus. Then the next topic is moment, skewness, and kurtosis. So it is not mentioned in the syllabus. So I am not going to discuss all the formulas. I am going to discuss the formulas only for standard deviation and variance. Why? Because again, these formulas are not in the syllabus, but for the next topic, like moments, skewness, and kurtosis, we need to know about the standard deviation and variance, how to calculate a standard deviation, how to calculate variance. So I have simply written the formulas for standard deviation, and this is by mistake variation, this is variance. So the formulas for standard deviation and variance, they are equal. Means we don't have different formulas for standard deviation and variance. Why? Because the standard deviation, if you know the standard deviation, the square of this standard deviation is variance. So you have to you simply need to know what is the standard deviation of the data. So if you know the standard deviation, just square this value, you will get the variance. So this is sigma. Sigma is the standard deviation and sigma square is variance. So the formulas are same. So for individual series means where the x points are individually given without any frequency. So simply you have x values 1, 2, 3, 9, 1700, like this. So for that, how to calculate the standard deviation? It is a square root of summation xi minus x bar square by n. Now what is n? N is number of observation points. Xi is the xi values in the data, means different values in the data points in the data, and x bar is the arithmetic mean. So first, you suppose you are given with one series, one individual series. First you calculate the arithmetic mean of that data, then take the difference for each value in the data from the arithmetic mean xi minus x bar. So take this difference for each value in the data, square this, and sum all the squares, and divided by capital, the number of observation, how many points are there. So this will give you the square root of this value will give you the standard deviation. And for variance, simply this fraction is variance. And for discrete series means you have been given x and corresponding frequency. So for that, again, you need to first calculate the x bar, that is arithmetic mean. So you know, I already told you in the last lecture that how to calculate the arithmetic mean for the discrete series. So first calculate the x bar, that is arithmetic mean for this series, and take the difference of each xi from the arithmetic mean, take the square, and that value you have to multiply to corresponding frequency. So first calculate x bar, next take the difference means x minus x bar column. So each of this value you have to take the difference from x bar. This is one column. Now making the squares of these values, so squaring these values and then multiply the corresponding frequency to this value is its corresponding frequency, its corresponding frequency, its corresponding frequency. Multiply these values and the sum is your numerator, and divided by the sum of frequencies, that is the total number of observations. So summing up all the frequencies will give you the denominator. So calculate this fraction and take the square root, you will get the standard deviation. Now simply for continuous series, that means the x values are given in terms of intervals. So again, you need to know first the x bar, that is arithmetic mean. So now I know that you know how to calculate the arithmetic mean for continuous series. Calculate that, take the difference, because now the x is not a single point, it is an interval. So take the middle value of that interval and take the difference from the arithmetic mean. This you have to do this for each interval. Take the square, multiply the corresponding frequency, this is your numerator, sum of these squares, and divided by the sum of frequencies. Taking the square root will give you the standard deviation. So these are the formulas for standard deviation for individual series, discrete series, continuous series respectively. And if you need to calculate variance, simply square this value, square this value, square this value. So you will get your variance. So what is the relation between standard deviation and variance? It is standard deviation is denoted by sigma, and the sigma square is variance. So so this was the measure of dispersion. Now these formula we will use in the coming topics. So I'll discuss the next topic, moments. So we have three topics: moments, skewness, and kurtosis. So first we will discuss about moments.